Hello and welcome. In the spirit of my brand new book, The Delicate Art of Transformation, I've been on a quest for truth. What does it actually take to create real, lasting transformation? And here you are on the precipice of something big. I don't think that's a coincidence that we should ignore. Welcome, my friend. Welcome to the True Transformation Summit. This is where true growth and transformation happens when the right person says the right thing at the right time and it all clicks. Those are the moments that make all the difference, and that is what this summit is here for. You're going to hear from some incredible experts who every single one I personally invited to be here. So listen with an open heart, do what they say, take what resonates, try the practices, get their free gifts, and let this space be the place where you find your next step. My name is Talia Joy. I'm your host. And if you want all the free gifts, the resources, and the only place where you can be entered for prizes, you can join the Insider Circle for free below. All right, without further ado, take a deep breath in. Think about what you are transforming, what you are here for. And let's dive into today's episode. Hello, Olivia. Welcome to the True Transformation Summit. I am so happy you're here. How are you doing today, my friend?
I am very well. I feel very blessed and honored to be here. Thank you, Talia. And thank you, everyone listening.
Yeah, thank you, everybody listening. And you're so welcome. I wanted your voice in this summit, and why I felt like it was such a great match. And I asked you to be here is I just fully believe in the power of our words. And I'm so excited that you're so excited about this. And this is what you do, because there is a point in our journey where, obviously words hold vibration, words hold meaning, and we really need to continue to be aware, to choose conscious language. And you're going to go all into it. I'll let you do that. But I invited you here because I think that it's so important to, really be aware of that as we move forward. So thank you so much for being here. It's going to be a great conversation.
Absolute pleasure. Very excited.
Awesome. So why don't we just start with, the beginning. Let's start with the beginning. Who are you? To anyone that is new to your world, who are you, and what is a little bit about the work that you do?
Okay. My name is Olivia, and I am a meditation teacher. I've got a lot of meditations on Insight Timer, and more recently I've started adding them on YouTube. I'm also a singer and songwriter. I write songs for mostly children, but I also, if I'm inspired, I write songs for adults too. And more recently, I've written a book, The Ultimate Book of Word Spells: 21 Days to Miracles, Abundance, and Higher Guidance. And so all of those things have a thread through them. So whether it's the books, the meditations, the children's music, or the music for adults, it all uses language, and it's simply me following my intuition in sharing this with the world. And they are tools or gifts to offer the world. Like, for example, the children's songs, I have a focus on growth mindset and resilience and things like that. So the children can be singing a song where they're actually singing affirmations without thinking about it, where they'll be just like, I like me no matter what, and I like you no matter what, and dealing with, not being liked or whatever. And I've got songs to encourage them to use their voice. I've got one that I've written for children that might be being groomed and encouraged to keep unsafe secrets. And so basically whatever I write, it's to bring people back to themselves and for them to feel seen and for them to remember who they really are. And I didn't set out to write a book. It's very much happened organically, me tapping into my own guidance and following the breadcrumbs. Initially, this book started as not a book, but just journal entries. Whenever I was facing something or just wanting to sit down and journal, I'd end up writing a song or a poem, and I'd think to myself, that's funny that I do that. Isn't that a funny little quirky thing I know other people doing journal entries that end up being some great post that they put on social media or something that works for their business. And I'm like, I write poetry. How weird. um, but then I would use them to I'd find that something about writing in poetry bypassed the potential blocks in my mind, and just sort of rhythmically integrated into my mind in a way that I found really effective. I'm here just to share because we're all one. And I think we're all here to be mirrors to each other. So if I have a discovery and I feel called to share it, I'm just surrendering to that. That's all I'm doing. I have no particular agenda or outcome for being here, for hopping on your wonderful event and sharing this. I am simply surrendering to that I'm called to share my gifts as we all are. So I would write these things and I would write these poems, and then what I would do is I would record them for myself, because I feel like we absorb things all day, every day from childhood. The things our parents say, the things friends say, the things that we scroll on social media and see, the things that we listen to, the entertainment, everything. And we're all always unconsciously. So this is where the conscious language comes in, because we're unconsciously programming ourselves all the time. And when I would discover myself having a thought or a negative spiral or something that I thought, well, hang on, I don't like that belief. That's not serving me. That's not helpful. I would end up literally writing myself one that I did want to believe. And instead of listening to something on social media or something that was going to reinforce negativity, I think we need to face negativity, but just got to be careful about it. Yeah, I'd go, well, this is what I want to program my mind with. And so I recorded these things for myself first. And then after that, I thought, this could help other people possibly. Maybe I'll put them on Insight Timer. And so I did that. And now I've got hundreds of reviews sitting there from people who actually use them, which is, it blows your mind, like when you're doing something really just for yourself. And you're going, this is my little quirky thing that I do. And then you
Mm-hmm.
put it out there and other people actually can use it. That's amazing. And then from there, one of the people I'm connected through on social media is Katie Carey. She writes these wonderful books all the time. And she did a post once that said something along the lines of, if you're someone who feels that you go to journal and you receive something that's like a channeling, or you just write and it comes out as poetry, you might want to be in this book. And I'm like, and I went, there's people that do this. This is a thing. I could be in a book. I thought, wonderful. Yeah, sure. And I put one of my poems in there. That planted the seed of the idea that it could be a book. Blessing for me is that the book was written before I wrote the book, in a sense. Like all the mantras are already existed. So all I had to do is create the scaffolding around it. That's how the book came around.
That's beautiful. Yeah, these things do. It's a series of events that, lead to the creativity coming through you. And that's awesome. Congratulations on the book. So I'd love to ask you about, the words and language and, why the power in words, and maybe, how come that feels like such an important part in your journey and, in as part of your message.
I'm always digging into that myself. Like it's so curious to me. I feel like there is an energy in words, and the intention behind it and the love behind it and the authenticity behind it is what it is, because it's not just words by themselves, because now we know we can like go to chat GPT or something and say, spit out some words. There is something more to the words. We know that we talk about when we spell words, it's spelling, the fact that we have the word spell, and that spell means has more than one meaning. I think it's the belief that we put in behind them. It's the intention. It's it's conscious. It's like we mentioned, conscious language. So consciously choosing your words and realizing what you're programming yourself with. I mean, I've had hypnosis where they're saying things to just to help with the words that are going in your mind. So the words matter, but I think it's more than the words. I think it's the love behind them. And I also think when you do it as with poetry or songs, that it lands in a different way. It's sent in a different way and it lands in a different way. Like I recently wrote a song, for example, where like I'm here on this podcast. It doesn't mean that everything happens in my life is sunshine and roses and perfect all the time. Like I've had things where yeah, where you might try to use words to express yourself and someone else takes your meaning completely differently to how you meant it, and and it doesn't land the way you wanted and what you meant, because when we use words sometimes we're just in using a part of our brain that's, well, it's that ego, two egos talking to each other. It's our which side of the brain I can't remember, but the not creative one, the one where you're just being rational and just deciding who's right and who's wrong, and we get stuck there. And so when it's done as an art form or poetry, I just recently put a song on my social media, which you are allowed, and it's heartfelt, and I think it's a way of me being able to communicate that is beyond the limitations of our, because words can be limited as well. I talk about the power of the words, but they can be limited if we don't use our heart as well, if we don't go beyond them. So when you put it in the form of artistry, I feel like that's connecting to soul and that's connecting to heart. The brain thinks the heart knows, and yeah, I'm using words now, and and it's hard sometimes to use words and convey what you actually mean. You have to go beyond the words. You have to use words intentionally and with love. And I think art and poetry and music gives us tools to be able to express and to be able to receive in a more complete way. Because sometimes, as much as I believe in the power of words, we're here living these 3D lives, and like in the dark with a flashlight, trying to make sense of everything. And you channel, right? You have that connection to something greater. We are multidimensional beings, and art and music and poetry and these offerings that I do are a way to communicate beyond that limited 3D rational side of us. It's to get to what lies beyond the surface. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. So do you mainly talk about words in the context of creativity? Because I know we're touching on like conscious language and how it helps to rewire our brain and our programming and all of that. And it's funny because I was thinking about it like, the things we say, the way we speak about ourselves, the way we speak about our goals, that kind of thing. But you're talking about it in the context of creativity and allowing, that to flow. Is that the way that you mean when you're talking about like the power of words and word spells and that kind of thing? Is it more in a creative context?
Not necessarily. That is the way that I create tools that people can use. But it is also to give yourself a better self-talk. So the way that we choose words and describe ourselves matters. So if we've all got different gifts to share, and not everyone is going to be writing word spells. Not everyone's going to be writing poetry or songs. And we're all meant to do whatever our gift is. And for me, I share the gift. And I think it might be best expressed if I maybe just read one of them. My value is inherent. My value is immense. My value isn't limited by ceilings or offence. My value is expansive. My value is within. My value is an emanation of what has always been. My value is eternal, not based on KPIs. My value is that I exist. It's time to realize that we are all connected. I'm you and you are me. We're our own liberation. Let's set each other free. We now know there's no other, no enemy to fight. Embodying our truth now is how we bring the light. Let's tune into this message. Let's send it out as one. We bring in the new earth now. Ascension has begun, and so it is.
That's beautiful. Thank
Thank you.
you. I definitely was feeling that. And it's like wisdom channeled through poem, which also makes it really pleasant to listen to. I could see your recordings being nice to listen to as well, but that was beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
So I'd love to just talk a little bit more for everybody listening, as we're going on our journey of transformation. And, you were talking about how words can limit us and our language can limit us. I'd love to hear about, the difference between expansive and contractive, or how, our language, our words can limit us versus expand us. And even ways that you remind yourself of this, as you showed a sticky note in a book to, give yourself a mantra. And I'd just like to hear you talk about that.
Yeah. So I guess it's about noticing, first of all, pausing long enough and being self-aware. And I know you've got a community of self-aware people, so they'd be very receptive and good at doing this, is to stop and pause and notice what you're saying to yourself. I'm not sure if I'll be able to remember this off the top of my head, but not so long ago, I realized that I needed to change direction with what I was doing, business wise, career wise, and it was a big change. And in the moment, to stop myself from spiraling, I used this as a tool. So I wrote something for myself. So that is something, people could think about doing for themselves too. They could say, like, in a moment where they're realizing that they're panicking about making a change, you can calm yourself by choosing differently. So choosing different words, choosing different beliefs. So what did I come up with? It's not in the book. It was something like, I am safe to make a change. I am safe to try. It ended with something like, thank you, universe. It is done. I fly. Or, it was like choosing, the words go around in your head. We narrate our our thoughts and our decisions and our life circumstances. And you can in the moment get a pen and paper or your notes app in your phone or something and go, well, I'm in a little bit of a panic spiral, or I'm thinking something that's not helpful to me. And I know I'm safe. I know I am an expression of God, divinity, whatever you want to call it. So when we get up in our heads and are telling ourselves things that are not helpful, it's not true, because we know ultimately we're safe, we're eternal. So yeah, I use words as a reminder. And so you can choose, just write your own script, basically. Write your own script. Write something that's a lot more helpful. Write a positive spiral instead of a negative one.
Absolutely. And it's so powerful to just, even in the moment, rewrite. And there's a fine line, because we talk about spiritual bypassing and sometimes saying, it's okay when it's really not okay. That's not always the vibe either. But even just saying to yourself, like, right now, I'm starting to freak out. I've got me. It's okay eternally. Like, I'm going to be okay, or, I'll move through this. Just the language you use toward yourself is just so important, especially in those moments. And I love that, because you're kind of, you're speaking about mantras basically, but I know that with a mantra, it's got to resonate with you for it to make a difference in your cells. That's why I think we've moved out of, I'm a millionaire when you're in debt, because it just doesn't work. But what you're saying is almost more of an expression, as you're evolving, as you're growing, like finding those words, poetry, mantras, song, where you're affirming what's moving forward, or what you want to move forward into, which is really beautiful. So as we kind of move through this and start to wrap up, what is left unsaid? What do you feel like you want to say about, using your words and conscious words, or whatever is left unsaid as people are going through this personal awakening and transformation journey?
What is left unsaid? That's a line in one of my songs. Whatever, we get to choose what we say. I don't feel like we're trying to become anything. I think we're trying to just remember and to accept ourselves fully. So yeah, I'm giving away the idea of trying to necessarily up level, because we're already everything and we're already divine. So I guess I want to leave people with that you are enough, and just send love. In fact, can I finish off with the "you are enough" mantra?
Absolutely. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah.
I am enough. Love is all I need. Love is all I am. Everything is in me. I am enough. Be still and breathe. I am guided. I am free. I am enough. I am safe. All is well. I create. I am enough. God is in me. God is all around. I am free. I am enough. It is okay. I am on my path. I know the way. I am enough. I am peace. I let go. I release. I am enough. The power is in me. All is well. I guarantee. I am enough. I am here and now. I receive. I allow. I am enough. I shine my light. I cast out dark to set things right. I am enough. I trust my heart. It guides me home. It knows the path. I am enough. Fear is not real. I let it go so I can heal. I am enough. I choose to play, for joy and love help guide my day. I am enough. Solutions come. Don't need the how. Trust in the one. I am enough. I declare it be. It is done in love. It is destiny. I am enough.
I feel that. I know everybody listening will feel that. Thank you for sharing. It was so beautiful.
Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for coming along the journey with us.
And you are giving away a free gift to everybody. Let us know what you're giving away.
Yes, there'll be a link somewhere that you will share where people can download the first chapter for free of my book.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes, the link will be in the show notes. And if you're part of the Insider Circle, it's already in your inbox. And you are contributing this week to the prizes. So one person is going to win something. What are they going to win?
One person is going to get a signed copy of this, the ultimate book of word spells. So yeah, I'm very excited to write on the inside someone's name and wish them so much love. And I'm very excited to do that.
Thank you so much. So stay tuned for that. And Olivia, thank you so much just for your time and for being here and for the work you do.
Thank you so much, Talia. Pleasure.
Thank you for tuning in to the True Transformation Summit. Make sure to take what this guest said, implement it into your life, check the show notes for their gift and to follow along on the journey, and make sure to tune in to the next guest episode. Namaste.